really bump up your Christmas sales and go from there. So, all right, Cleta has joined us. I've already done the announcement.
Hey, everybody. We are getting it rocking and rolling. Thank you so much, Larry, for just starting the call tonight. I appreciate it. I love that story about the trick-or-treaters. And every year when it comes out, I'm like, we should be we should be like those trick-or-treaters. So I am at my mom's house. I'm getting YouTube set up. So just give me a second. I feel like I'm hooked up, but I may not be. We'll see how good my mom's Wi-Fi is. I got waylaid by the trick-or-treaters. I was leaving my house, and then some of my neighbors, they're like, Cleta Cheetah, Cleta Cheetah. And I'm like, honey, I got to go get them some candy. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing great. I've got a little bit of spinning. We'll get everybody going here. I'm going to meet you guys. Thank you so much, Larry. Appreciate you. I am at my mom's house. I'm getting YouTube set up. So just give me a second. I feel like I'm hooked up. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Larry. Thank you for sharing all that. And I had a plan that what I was going to do tonight. And then, you know how, like, have you ever had something that you think is so funny? Like, so funny. And then you show it to someone else. They're like, it's not that funny. And you're like, it is, it's so funny. Well, anyway, about in 1998, my friend Deborah Bishop, who was my very good friend, she was my adopted sales director and for about 8 months until I became a sales director. She and I went to a conference, and we made up this, anyway, we made up this skit. It was around the World Series, which is like right where it is, like right now. And it was for a fall retreat. And so we did the skit. It was our baseball skit. And so it was so funny because we acted the whole thing out. Well, anyway, I'm going to tell you about it in a second, but we were the coaches, and we did it, and then we did it again. We did it several times. It was like, you know, she's like my little Mutt and Jeff. She's about the height of Selah, and anyway, she's hilarious. She was hilarious on her own right. Deborah passed away in 2017. I miss her greatly, but anyway, I did this skit in Michigan at a fall retreat in 2009. And it's so funny, you guys. Okay. So I watched the whole thing and died. And I thought, I'm going to show that tonight. But then I don't know, on the way here, I thought it might not be that funny. So what I'm going to do is in our Voxer group, I will post the link to the baseball skit, and you guys can watch it. It's about 30 minutes. It is really funny. You have to tell me if you think it's funny or not. I'm going to actually go over it with you. It won't be near as funny as it was on there. But if you're on YouTube watching this, you can actually just go to my channel and search baseball, and you'll see it. And you can watch it on your own if you want to have a little laugh. So here's the thing. And so instead of doing the funny one, I'm going to just shoot you straight on it. So what we did is we came up with, it was a World Series, and you know, there's 9 players on the baseball team. And right now, in case you don't know, because honestly, if you asked me 5 weeks ago, I wouldn't have known. But the Atlanta Braves are in the World Series, and they're playing the Astros. The Atlanta Braves have not been in the World Series for 21 years, something like that. And tonight they possibly could win. Like if they win, it's over, and they had not won since 1995. That is a long time. And so all the Braves people are like just so excited, right? All the Georgia people, y'all know I'm from Georgia. And then of course, last night, Georgia beat Florida, and I'm just sorry. You know, the Dogs beat the Gators. That makes me happy. So I know some of your Gator fans were real sorry, but your old Gator chop just did not do it for the Dogs yesterday. So anyway, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right? You get up the next day and you still go back and play the game. So what we did is we came up with, Deborah and I, 9 opponents. Like when you go out to play a game, there's 9 opponents, right? There's 9 players, and you have to be ready to win the ball game, right? You've got to be ready. So we came up with these 9 things that we feel like are things that slow Mary Kay people down, and that I think all of us have kind of had this at some time or the other. So the very first one, we actually did this in 2 ways. One time we did the skit, and it was like we were in the Army, and it was our enemy. Okay, then the next time the first time it was actually players. So this this is player number 30 of the opposite team, and it is frustration. Okay, so you can put those in the chat if you've ever had one of these that you felt like has come against you. Then you'll understand. But I feel like that everybody in Mary Kay has experienced frustration in their Mary Kay business. Am I right? And you can be frustrated that the phone does not, like, just like Loree talked about, you call people, they don't answer. Or someone says, yeah, I'm gonna place an order, then she don't. Or someone buys it and then she returns it. Or someone says she's going to sign up and then you can't find her. She ghosts you. It's like Halloween and she ghosts you, right? There's all kind of times in Mary Kay that you can feel so frustrated, and some of those times that could be the time that you're like, I'm done. I don't need this frustration in my life. I didn't ask for this. I thought everybody was going to be thinking pink. And as soon as I told them I was in, I would get 400 orders, but I didn't. Right. So, I want you to think that that's just one of the ways that, like, and I do say it's the enemy, I think that, the enemy is here to kill, steal, and destroy. Right. And so frustration is not from the Lord, right? The Lord gives us is positive, gives us hope, right? So when you start to feel frustrated, I want you to think a minute and go, just take a breath. I'm a trick-or-treater, right? Just like she said, I'm just going to go to the next person of whatever it is. Because usually what frustrates you is other people, especially if you really feel like you're really trying and then other people let you down. But, we've talked about this a lot, is that people will let you down. Numbers won't. So if you do enough, right? You do enough, then you will get the right results. Okay. So the next player that could get you down is, we say number 13 is negativity. Negativity. All right. So if you think that before Mary Kay, you were a negative person, just go ahead and say, yeah, that was me. Before Mary Kay, I didn't realize I was negative, but I was negative. We all know, we all can point it out on somebody else, like somebody else that is always negative. Like when you're around them, they're so quick to tell you what is bad happening in their life, right? Or what's bad happening with whatever. Let's talk about Mary Kay. What's bad happening with the products? What's bad happening with the company? What's bad happening with whatever that is going on? They can only talk about stuff that's out of stock or that the shipping took too long. And, we all find ourselves sometimes talking death into our business, talking negative, and it's negative energy all over you with your business. So I want you to think about when you speak negativity into your Mary Kay business, in life in general, but especially in your Mary Kay business. So I had Cheryl Warfield is a national sales director who retired, and y'all know I like to have a good time, and I was really just joking with what I said, but I said, I was up there talking to her. It was some event. I think it was career conference or something. And I just said, she said something about recruiting. I said, I can't recruit. Nobody wants to recruit with me. And I was really just joking, but she looked at me and she put her hands on my face, which I don't really like people to do that. And she said, never say that again. And I was like, she's somebody I really looked up to, and, a little bit older than me. And I'm like, she said, the words out of your mouth go straight to your brain. I don't care if you're joking or not. And I'm like, bam, slap. And like, you guys, I was Cadillac director. I was not like a brand new consultant. Like, she shot me down. But you know what? I haven't forgot it. I never will. Like, even just in joking, you really should speak life and not death into your business. So don't say things like, I can't recruit. Don't say things like, I can't sell. Nobody will book with me. Because you know what? When you say it, it just tells your brain, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what she said. Okay, let's make that happen. Instead, say the things that you want. All right. Okay. The third player is number 33, postponements. Anybody had a postponement? Has anybody on this call ever had something that has postponed? Yeah, I bet the directors all have had some. At some point, you booked something and then they called and said, I can't come. I can't do it. Right? We all have. I know I have. The very first time that it happens to you, you're like, what? You were so ready, like you prepared, and then they didn't do it. Right? Yeah. Maureen says she calls it a reschedule. And so that's what you do, and in my little skit, we laughed about it. I'm like, yeah, she postponed. And you think I reminded her? No, she should have done it the first time. I mean, that was in the skit. Like, it was just a funny thing. You need to listen to it. That's really funny. But we all are going to have postponements. And I always compare this to yourself. Have you ever postponed something with somebody? Okay, I have. And usually it's a doctor's appointment or a dentist. And I'll tell you about one recently. I didn't postpone. I just flat out canceled. They send you a text, go, text back, yes, if you will be there. I had to get 2 crowns. I hate dental work. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. And so I had my temporaries, and then I had to go back in and get the real ones. Well, on my back 2 teeth. Well, I had braces back, I don't even know, 5 years ago. And if you've ever had braces, I know y'all probably had them when you're 13. I like to do them when I'm 50, right? So you have a retainer they want you to wear. So your teeth don't go back. And when you're an adult and you have to pay for your own braces, you're not going to spend $6,000 and let your teeth go back the way they were. So I wear my retainer every night. Well, got these new crowns, put them on. And the retainer, I mean, not the crowns, doctor put those on. I put my retainer in that night and it didn't fit quite right. Like, it's like, because of the new teeth, you know what I'm saying? It just like it was loose. And I thought, what if I wear this retainer and then it jacks up the rest of my teeth? I mean, those are cemented in, they're not going anywhere. So I called the orthodontist to see if I can get a new retainer. This is I don't even know why I'm telling you all this. Long story short, they told me it was going to be $125 for the top and $125 for the bottom. I said, for one retainer, $250. I said, all right. So I set the appointment up. And so then that night I thought, that is just too much. So I took scissors and I cut the back 2 teeth off the retainer. It's perfect. So when they text me to confirm, I canceled. Now, I don't think Dr. Hester's and Morris is going to go into a cardiac arrest and close down their business because they had somebody cancel on them, right? They have lots of people coming in. I'm just one person, but I'm just saying, it's not that I don't like them, but I did cancel. And so people are going to cancel on you too. It's okay. Mary Kay always said double book, get more books, so much that if they all held, you would be like, I can't even believe all this is holding. All right. Okay. The next player is number 15, disorganization. Raise your hand if this is a problem. Anybody have a problem with organization in your Mary Kay business where you really just can't find your stuff? Like you're ready to go, but you can't find your books. You can't find your samples. You took all the stuff that was in your starter kit that you're supposed to use to do a facial and you put it in the shower. And so now you're going to the shower to get your cleanser, and trying to wipe it off, make it look new and use that for your samples. Don't do that, y'all. That's nasty. Okay. So you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, like in your Mary Kay business, you're so unorganized, you don't even know where your stuff is. And you're just not really all over your business. And it can really get you, the disorganization. It can slow you down in your Mary Kay business. So it is worth to take, I don't mean take like a whole month. I'm talking about take an afternoon or an evening and say, I'm going to go into where I do my Mary Kay. It could be an office or it just could be an area of your house where all your stuff is, and get it to where you can find your things. Now, some people, like my friend Deborah Bishop, talk about Deborah. She was messy, but in her mind, she could find everything. Like I could never find anything in her office. It was unreal, but she could go straight to it, right? Yeah, set a timer. And what was that thing that we used to do? What was that called, Loree? That what was that little thing that we used to do a while about organization? And we would set a timer and it said do it every night. It was a little.
Well, Fly Lady was where I learned it.
Yeah,
Fly
that's
Lady,
what I'm talking about.
cleaning your house.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fly Lady. The Fly Lady. Y'all look that up. And we used to do
time management training.
That's right. That's right. So get yourself whatever's slowing you down. Just like I'm not even kidding. The other day when I put all my samples in that shoe bag on the back of my door, I'm not even kidding that right there has been the best thing that I have done for my business in a long time, because I just go straight to it. When I get low, I place an order. I'm not like scrambling to find my samples to send for my parties or to put a sample in one of my customers' bags. I can't even tell you how much that has helped me. So get yourself organized with your Mary Kay business. Don't let it overwhelm you, and just do a little bit at a time, and of course the rest of your life is always helpful to be, more organized. But some people do live in a disorganized chaos, but they know where it is. That's okay if that's your personality. I don't understand, but I know there are people like you that are very successful. So that's okay too. Okay. The next one is number 25, and it's the daily dippies. Okay. This is when you have a plan for the day, and then everything happens. Everything. Like it starts out at your house where somehow you can't find your phone when you're leaving, or you can't find your purse, or you can't find your keys, right? And then you get in your car and you're like, my husband's supposed to put some gas in it. I'm on empty and I've got to be somewhere, or you leave and you look down and your shoes are not the same, 2 different shoes. You have things, and like all day, you're like, what is going on with this crazy day? Everything is happening to me. You have a flat tire. I mean, we all could go on and on, right? Of the things that happen to us during the day. And, once you start a day like that, and then if you start telling people, you won't believe it. You won't believe what I've been through today. And you start going, blah, 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 blah. It's like a chain of events. It just keeps happening, right? But just know everybody has these daily dippies, little things that happen. I say they're little doinks in your day, just little doinks that doink you, but you got to keep going, and you just have to recognize what it is. It's just a little daily dippy. Everybody has them. It's just a little tiny doink. It's not going to stop you from doing what you want to do that day. Okay. Okay. The next player is number 22. Hormones. Hormones. You guys, either you don't have any or you got too much, right? And so it's so funny how different women deal with their hormones. Okay. Some women literally will stay in the bed the whole entire day. My mother raised me a different way. You go to school. I remember being in high school and having cramps or whatever. And she's like, go to school. There was no like laying in their bed. Right. And, but as women, sometimes, our hormones can get the best of us. That could be a whole nother separate topic about getting your hormones checked. So if you're not feeling yourself and you're over 50, you might want to go see somebody. Y'all can call me later about that one. But hormones do affect you, and it affects your mood and some of the things. So recognize if you start biting people's head off, what's going on here, and stop yourself. Just stop yourself, right? That may be the day to organize instead of make phone calls, right? Don't bite your customer's head off, right? And don't kill your children during the middle of it, or your husband. Okay, the next player is number 6, and it is winneritis. Okay, winneritis is when you have had success in the past. And every time someone asks you or you talk about Mary Kay, you go back to those 7 years ago when you got that gold medal. And a lot of people don't even get a gold medal, right? But you got one, or you've got that one little something you won, and it's the same one that you had 8 years ago, and you have not increased since then. And we all do. We want to go back and remember things that we've done awesome, don't we? I mean, that's natural and normal. However, we can't get too big for our britches. That's a Southern term. Mary Kay Ash used to say, like at seminar, like you would be up there, and even the queen and people that did the best, she'd say, okay, what about next year? Like, you're like, can't I just celebrate one day without me having to go, make some big goal again? Can't I just be in the celebration? And of course you can. But Mary Kay knew that once you achieve something, you've got to set that next goal, or you'll just sit there and go back to what you did. That's like your past. What's your future story, And, so that's something to think about, that if you've had great success before, and all of us can do it, I definitely could do it, and go, well, and talk about what I've done that was pretty awesome, but like, what are you doing right now? Right. So, it's something to think about. Okay. And then the last one was number 40. No, there's one more. Let me say that there's another one. It was number 12, and it's low self-esteem. Selah and I, we have this thing, and we think just about everybody's problem, if they have a problem, is low self-esteem. Because if you don't think enough of yourself, right, then it's hard to lift up other people, right? Because you're really just thinking about yourself, and you're very real conscious about yourself and what other people think about you. And you don't feel like enough about yourself. So, it's a problem. So I want to really just remind all of you, every single one of you that are listening to me, that the good Lord made us, right? So we are daughters of the King. That's pretty special, right? We shouldn't think of ourselves higher than we shouldn't have the winneritis and think of ourselves bigger than we are to get too big for our britches. But you are worthy, you have value. And I want you to just really put your time and effort, instead of thinking and worrying about what other people think, say, or do about you. Instead, think, what can I do for others? Because what happens is, once you start thinking of others and what you can do to help them or for them, to build them up, you forget about your own stuff. It's really when it's a very self-centered thing to only think about yourself, right? And only be concerned about yourself. So I want you to just kind of think about that. I know I'm stepping on toes tonight. I step on my own all the time, right? I really do. And so I want you, if you have a problem with that, honestly, read your Bible and look in there and see what God says about you. He thinks you're amazing. He really does. And so you're a child of God. Okay. So that right there is enough we all hold our head up high, right? Not have winneritis, right? We still got to work, but we're pretty special. Okay. So the last one is number 40. And this is a South Georgia thing. It could be Alabama and Florida, maybe Tennessee. I don't know, but definitely South Georgia. And it's fixing to. So fixing to is a big fat, it's a big enemy of the Mary Kay world. It's when you say, I am fixing to get on it. I mean, I'm fixing to get me probably like 10 new recruits. I'm fixing to make a bunch of phone calls. I am fixing to, I'm fixing to be the queen of sales in my unit. And that means you're just about ready to get started, to get going on it. Like if someone says, if I call Sayla, I have to say Sayla, because Sayla and I just go so far back. And I said, Sayla, I'm fixing to come over there. That really doesn't mean like right now. That means as soon as I do some stuff at the house, I got to do this and this and this and this, then I'll be there, And so she knows, like if I say I'm on my way, then that should mean that I'm in my car. Now, some people say that when they're still in the house, but I really do. When I say I'm on my way, I really am driving. But if I say I'm fixing to go, that's like I'm just getting ready to start thinking about making a move to go over there. Okay. And so in Mary Kay, when you start saying, I'm fixing to blow it out. Instead on that, you may say it to yourself maybe, but then what do we say? Y'all know this, actions speak louder than words, right? So instead of saying it, just do it. Just do it. Instead of saying, I'm fixing to get on the phone, I'm going to book me 5 parties. Well, why don't you just get on the phone and book 5 parties and then say, guess what I did? I got on the phone and booked 5 parties. Man, right? That's way better. So fixing to is really not a verb. It's not. So I want you to think about that. All right. And so those are the things that I feel like, and then another thing we talked about, those are the 9 players, okay, that are against us. They want to beat us. All right. We're not going to let that happen. We're winners. We're Atlanta Braves. All right. Sorry, Astros. I love y'all too. I had an Astro jersey in high school, but I'm sorry, we're Braves tonight. But the signals that you're gonna, at those ball games, there is a first base coach, there's a third base coach, right? And then you have your head coach, and then you have your managers and stuff too. There's even a pitching coach. So you got to learn to take your signals. Even the catcher sometimes is doing signals for how the pitcher's going to pitch, right? Telling them what to do. And so your first base coach is like your recruiter. It's the person that signed you up into Mary Kay. And she's going to do her best to give you some advice, to encourage you, to get you on the calls, to, get you going in Mary Kay. And so, you want to listen to her. You want to know that she is there for you. There's no one person that could benefit more from your success than your recruiter. Your recruiter is your number one fan. She is the one that has the most vested interest. So when she says something to you and it has an encouraging word, you want to listen to that. Okay. And then the second one would be your third base coach. And of course, this is going to be your sales director. And your sales director, of course, she is your second biggest fan. Okay, now some of you don't have recruiters anymore. She forgot she was coaching and she left. So that makes your director your first base and your third base coach. But your sales director has a vested interest in you. And you guys, I know you know this, but I could sign up 25 people today, like get 25 agreements in. Excuse me. But if I don't teach these gals how to sell some products, how to get their business going, and they don't do anything, they have consultant numbers and they never get going. They never hold a party. They never make a sale. They never place an order. You know what? I might as well not have recruited them, right? Because what good does that do? Nothing. You get paid zero, right, on a new team member that doesn't get their business going. So it is really important for you as recruiters. It is to your advantage to encourage and assist your new unit member and get them going, right? So you want to listen to your director, that first base coach and that third base coach. They're going to tell you when to run, when to slide, and when to hold up, right? And of course, the head coach would be your national sales director. Now, a lot of us don't have a national sales director. So that could be someone that is kind of like, you feel like they're kind of like your national. You know, I've got some people that are not my nationals because mine retired back in 1998. And so I'm in the Mary Kay national area, but I have some national sales directors that are really mentors to me. And I listen to them. If they tell me a suggestion, I'm going to listen because I respect them. They're above me and they're where I want to be. Does that make sense? So you got to have your coaches and they have your best interests at heart. And sometimes they have to tell you stuff. You know, I played basketball. I also played baseball. What am I saying? Softball. And I had coaches that would get on my tail, you know, and I had to take it. And so, but the only reason they were getting on me is because they wanted us to win and they wanted me to play with my best potential. And so I listened to my coach. And if I didn't, I sat on the bench, right? And so I want y'all to think about that. And, you know, I'm preaching to the choir because really anybody that gets on these calls, you obviously want to increase your business, or why would you even get on here? There's a lot of things you could do tonight. I mean, we got a lot of competition tonight, right? Trick-or-treaters, we got the games, we got everything else. And so, so I want you to think about your coaches. Mary Kay was the best coach of all. She's the manager. She owns the blessed team, right? She wrote a whole book, you know, an autobiography and a lot of guidelines for us to run our business. And so we need to honor that, keep our Mary Kay business like our founder, right? Like she wanted it to be. And what was the biggest thing? Enrich women's lives, make other people feel important, live and work by the golden rule, put God first, family second, and career third, you know, and treat others as you like to be treated with like that golden rule, like I said. So, you know, that's the founding principles of our company. And so we don't want to get too far away from that. Want to really try to remember that in our head. And that's why the company's still rolling today, you know. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. I appreciate Laree for jumping on here early and giving the first little bit. I'm sorry for our YouTubers. You did not get to hear her wisdom. She was amazing, but I really appreciate her for stepping up with me. So any of the other directors would like to chime in and say something, just unmute yourself and jump on here.
Hey, Cleta, one of the things we talked about before you jumped on was that with us having 4 weeks leading up to the, cyber, the Pink Friday, Cyber Monday, and Small Business Saturday, is I gave them a little heads up to come up with a tip to help prepare or like something that's worked well for them so that they could share at the end of the call as well. So.
Okay, perfect. So anybody that wants to do that, go ahead. Or if there's something else you'd like to say, just unmute yourself.
Okay, I have a tip. My tip is to keep it simple and keep it the same. So Laree said some people like to do open houses. I actually don't like to do open houses. So you got to, like she talked about, do your style, do your thing. And, for the cyber weekend, I kind of do the same deal every single year. And it's like the stores do. If they contact me or leave me a message, they get a discount on their order for Pink Friday. And it keeps going down throughout the day. And I have a slew of customers that wait for that day and they're up early, and it's just a nice little boost to the day for sales. And I just keep it simple.
I love it. And that's so true. That's what I do too, Christine. I've been doing it for years that way. I've had open houses too. They're very successful, but I started doing that. I don't even know how many years, but even just this week, this girl said, I'm getting my order together. Are you having your thing like you always do on Black Friday? I said, I sure am. Make it big. And so they get up at 5:45 and place that order in the morning. And I just wake up to money is all I'm saying. Okay. Who else has something?
Hey, Cleta, what a great call. Thank you, Loree. Thank you, Cleta. And I was thinking tonight about being the heart of a champion. And like the Braves, they have worked many, many years to get to where they are at this moment in time. They have, they have worked out, they have won games, they have lost games, they have taken instruction from their leaders. And, in our business, a lot of times there's things that we do that people don't see every day, but they really do count, y'all. They make you stronger and better each day. So one day when you're in the position to really that person joins your team, or you have several people join your team, or you have a huge week in sales, you know what to do with it because you have been working daily in your business. And it's so important. It's like planting a seed and you don't see it come up, and then you water it, and then you see a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have this huge crop to harvest. And that's how it is in our business. So what a great call. Thank you.
Thank you, Sayla. Yes. And that is so true. That is so true. I look at those guys when they get up there, and, some of them are in their 30s, and then some are only 24 years old. And this is their first year. And then they just crush the ball. And I'm like, you go, it's so exciting. And they're just thinking all those years of just really working. So thank you, Sayla. Okay, Maureen, did you have something? You look adorable, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you, Loree. You gave me some things to think about. And thank you, Cleta and Sayla. You guys are Sunday night is always like my first day of the week. So I don't know all my neighbors yet because we just got a whole slew of them moving in since last year. And so I went to the Dollar Tree. We were talking about our favorite store earlier. And I got the little, the mittens. We've seen these before. And I got the hand cream, and you just wrap it in a Pilgrim. And then I just made it look super cute. So my thing is that I usually do this crazy extravagant thing every year, a pink posh palooza I got from somewhere else. And it's, just even thinking about it gives me a heart attack because it's so detailed, and I'm trying to get away from that kind of thing. And I'm going to be a little busy here in about a week and a half. So I'm not going to be around to be able to do what I'm usually doing. So I want my neighbors who are in walking distance to know that I have a store right here in walking distance. So I'm going to go around, and I have about 10 of these made. And I'll be in the think tank tonight and tomorrow thinking about exactly like what you talked about, Christine, and something making it super simple. And I'll have a little flyer that will go with this little thing. And I'm going to go around and give it to them late next week, so that they know that, oh, look, I want to give this to you because you're my neighbor and you need hand cream and you need this for Thanksgiving. And you also need to know that there's a store across the street from you that you can come and shop all the time. So anyways, I'm going to open up that door for them and give them the all the information that they need. There'll be a QR code on there, a link to my website, the app, everything that they need. And then, of course, they know where I live. So I want to make it super simple for them to just come and try and then come and buy.
That is so cute, Maureen. Like if I was your neighbor and you came by and gave that to me, I'd be like, I love her. Tonight I just gave out the color cards, and I don't know if y'all realize this, but on the color cards, the back, there's a slit to put your business card. Like I was fixing to tape them in. I'm like, hey, look at that. There's a slit. And then I just made these little labels that just said $10 free to book a facial with me. And I had my name and phone number and put those on all the little cards. And I wrapped them up with some ribbon. And I gave out one little group. There's 6 kids. I said, are all y'all brothers and sisters? No, we're friends. I said, so all y'all got different mamas? Yes, ma'am. I said, all right, get in here. I said, pick one of these out for your mama and give it to her. Tell her it's a surprise from me, and so it was so cute, right? And so you never know, little goodwill things like that. And then the ones I have left over, I'm going to give them away this week. I'm going to put them all in a Ziploc so I don't get nasty in my purse. And then everywhere I go, I'm going to be giving them out. And so it's just, we can still trick or treat people all month of November as well. So thank you for that beautiful idea. That's really, really nice. Okay, who else?
I was just thinking as you were talking about, because trick or treat is now over, you could do the very same thing, but change it for a thankfulness, because
Yeah.
a lot of people post things on November, a thankful thing every day. And so I really encourage you to do that and bring about things that you're thankful for your business and thankful for your customers and thankful for the relationships, and just not every single day about Mary Kay, but sprinkle some of that in. And then you can do those packets as well for, I'm thankful for new friends. I'm thankful for new people that God puts in my life. And that would be a good tie in that you could just kind of extend that through the month of November in a thankfulness
I love
mindset.
it.
And I'm involved in another investment deal. And one of the things that they teach is that marketing is so important. And in Mary Kay, I think we sometimes get in our mindset, I make 50%, I make 50%, I make 50%. But we have to think like business women, and we have to invest in some marketing funds. So you really need to set aside a little bit of money to do things like some giveaways, or, it doesn't have to be full size product, but full size product is great. Hand creams are cheap. When you look at a mail out, by the time you do it and mail something out, you've spent $3.54. So a full size product, it is not that much money for marketing in a true business sense. So just consider that as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Lorraine. Okay, you guys, any other consultants or directors want to chime in here? All right. If not, there is a game to watch, but all the Mary Kay girls that are in my unit, we're going to have a short meeting. We have a new consultant to pin, quote unquote, tonight. And thank you again, Lorraine. You guys will see you next week. All the new products, you can look on In Touch in the morning. You'll be able to see them. I will be doing a little video about those. And but it will be, I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. It might be Tuesday or so, but I'll let you guys know. But anyway, y'all can watch it on YouTube. All right. Have a good one, you guys. It is a great month in. If you haven't placed your order for this month, you still have time to get the little earrings from Mary Kay, the little heart and pearl earrings. So cute with a 600. If you're new and you signed up last month, this is your last day, if you haven't placed an order, to get $25 off your $225 order or $50 off a 600. So if you signed up in September and did not place an order yet, today is an important day for that. I wanted to remind you of that as well. Okay. Have a good one. You guys, I love you. We'll see you next week.